I'm Heather Jordan, and this is my speech. Here is my audience.
Hello.
Can I even say hi?
Hi.
And then
Hello.
there's my mom. Here are my note cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So I did my speech on Edward Jenner, the inventor of vaccines. I just want to start off by saying that according to Colette Flight of BBC News on 17th of February in 2011, 300 million people died of smallpox just within the 20th century. So that was just showing you how bad of a disease smallpox was. I took a Great Diseases class in college that was called Great Diseases of the World. So I learned a lot about smallpox and Edward Jenner and what he did to save that in his vaccine. And statistically, if we lived back then, one of your loved ones would have had smallpox, or a lot of your loved ones. So this is kind of would have affected a lot of people. So today I want to talk to you about Jenner's history and his life, and the vaccine that he created, and how that changed the world of medicine. So Jenner started off very brilliant. He was one of the most influential people in the world of medicine. According to a BBC News article called History of Edward Jenner, Jenner was an English doctor, the pioneer of smallpox vaccination, and the father of immunology. And I thought that was a really good quote to describe him. He lived from 1749 to 1823. That was his lifespan. He had 4 children and 1 wife, and unfortunately, a lot of them ended up dying from different diseases. And at the age of 13, he became a surgeon's apprentice, and he did that until he was 21. So he was a surgeon's apprentice for 8 years and started at such a young age. But that's how he learned so much. And after that, he went off and became a doctor at Berkeley. So Jenner created a huge influence in the medical world, and this is because he created actually the first vaccine. So smallpox was a major epidemic, as I stated earlier back then. It was a horrible disease that affected a lot of people. So what happened was he noticed that the milkmaids were not contracting the disease. And this is because the milkmaids actually had had cowpox before, because they were around a lot of cows. And cowpox is a sister disease to smallpox. And he noticed this when he noticed that the milkmaids didn't have all of the blisters and the scars that smallpox left. And he wondered why this was happening. So he had an idea to deliberately inject someone with the cowpox vaccine, or with the live cowpox. And it turns out that this did not give them smallpox. When he injected them with a little bit after, they were immune to it. So the sister disease of cowpox helped you become immune to smallpox. And this is where the word vaccinia comes from. It's a Latin word that means cowpox, and that's where the word vaccine comes from. So he really changed the world of medicine with this discovery. It was never the same after that, because his vaccines led to many of the ones that we use today, and without him we wouldn't have a lot of those. According to Stephen Rydell from Baylor Medical in January of 2005, on May 8th of 1980, the World Health Assembly announced that the world was free of smallpox and recommended that all countries cease vaccination. So, Jenner was able to completely eradicate smallpox altogether, which was a huge win. This also means that there were no more blisters or scars. You know, people didn't have to live with those on all over their body for the rest of their lives, which was a major thing back then. Also, thanks to Jenner, we have so many vaccines like measles, mumps, rubella, polio, and all of those things we might still have today had it not been for his vaccine discovery. So he really did change the world of medicine. And I hope you realize what an impact he had on all of our lives now that you've heard his history, how he lived and how smart he was, how he invented the vaccine, and how that changed so many lives then and today. So thanks to Jenner, we are saved from many diseases. Thank you.
All right.
Go ahead and say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.